Hello friends, welcome back once again in the video lecture series of operating system whose subject code is 1618305. Today I am going to teach you lesson number 1, which is your introduction of operating system. In this lecture I am going to take the second topic, that is types of operating system, right? So let's start with the video. So before starting about the video, I would like to give you the list of content which is going to take in this lecture. First, I will discuss about types of operating systems. Next, I will focus on simple batch system. After that, I will also take multi-programming batch system. After that, I will going to teach you about multiprocessor system, that is multiprocessor operating system. Next one is your desktop system, and lastly I will conclude with summary and with good references. So let's start with the first topic, that is what are the different types of operating systems. See, if we are talking about types of operating system, they are mainly classified into 8 parts. So if I am going to teach you all 8 types of operating system, it will be too lengthy. That is why I have tried to bifurcate the entire video, that means types of operating system, into 2 parts. In the first part, I am going to teach you first 4 types of operating system, that is simple batch system, multi-programming batch system, multi-processor system, and desktop system, right? And in the second video, in the second part, I am going to cover distributed operating system, clustered system, real-time operating system, and handheld systems, right? So let's start with the first topic, that is what do you mean by simple batch system? As the name indicates, batch, that means several jobs are submitted in the form of batch, right? So what is the formal definition of batch system? Let's do. It's a technique in which an operating system collects the program and data together in the batch before processing starts. In this type of operating system, mainly the jobs are submitted on the punch card and it is delivered to the computer operator, right? So the computer operator has the responsibility to bifurcate or to classify the jobs into several other batches, right? The second point, the OS defines the job which has predefined sequence of command, programs, and data as a single unit. See, what is a job or what is a process? Process is nothing but it is an active entity of program, and program is nothing but a set of commands or instruction with some data. So the job, whatever is to be executed, the sequence is decided earlier only, right? On the basis of an earlier definition of the sequence, the different jobs will be executed, right? Okay. Now next point is OS keeps the number of jobs in the memory and execute them by manual information, without manual information, right? That means whatever the jobs has to be executed, those jobs must be submitted into main memory, and without the intervention of manual, that means without the external intervention, the execution of job starts. Means user does not know how and which job is executing at a particular time, right? Okay. So first thing, the job are processed in the order of submission. That means जिस तरीके से जॉब आया होगा उसी तरीके से वो एग्जीक्यूट करेगा. दैट मीन्स इट कम्स अंडर योर फर्स्ट कम फर्स्ट सर्व फैशन, दैट इज FCFS, right? Next point is when a job completes its execution, it release the memory and the output of the job get copied to the output spool for later printing or processing. See, once upon the job will be executed, and if it is completed, then that process will release the memory, right? The process will no more exist in the memory, and whatever the output will be going on, whatever the output should be taken out, that should be submitted to the output spool, where we can take various types of outputs such as printing and other displaying, right? Okay, fine. So, what do you mean by simple batch system? We can well understand through this diagram. In this diagram, here I want to show you that the jobs are being, there are the several jobs which are being submitted by several users, right? And these jobs are not straightway given to the CPU. No, it will be submitted to the computer operator, and computer operator means it's a type of operating system, and operating system will decide which job will be classified into which batch, right? It will be classified according to their property and their execution, and once these jobs are classified into various batch, then finally the CPU will start executing the jobs in the form of batch. Suppose if CPU is executing batch, this batch, like batch 1, right? So if this batch is submitting, so if this batch is submitted to the CPU, then what is going to be happen? Other batch has to wait here, right? Other batch has to wait here, and this is the flow diagram. This is the flow diagram of the execution process, that what actually execution process will go on, right? So I was telling you, when first batch is being stored in the memory for execution, then again second batch has to wait until the first batch will be released by CPU, right? So this is the formal diagram of your simple batch processing operating system, which is also known as simple batch system. Okay, fine. Let's look some advantages and disadvantages of batch processing operating system. First is, batch processing takes much work of operator to the computer. So if there is no interaction of the of the user with the computer, then all the responsibility has to be taken by the operator, right? So operator is having really tremendous responsibility, because operator is only the device which communicate with operator is one entity which communicate with the computer directly. If you're talking about its performance, so but natural, its performance is much greater than as compared to serial processing operating system, right? Okay. Batch processing operating system can be shared by multiple users. That means this type of operating system is multi-user operating system. As compared to serial processing, CPU has having less idle time, right? Because in serial processing operating system, I have already told you that जबकि एक प्रोसेस जब एग्जीक्यूट कर रहा होगा, जब तक से कि वो अपने आईओ टास्क को भी कंप्लीट नहीं कर लेगा, CPU is not going to get the second job. But here it will be working on batch. तो बैच का मतलब क्या है कि within a one batch it can entertain the second process at the different time, right? Okay. Basically, batch processing operating system is used to carry out large amount of job, or when large amount of work has to be executed at that time, this type of operating system is majorly used. Okay, what are the disadvantages of this operating system? The debug problem. We cannot debug the program in batch operating system, rather than it is very difficult. Okay, it may so happen that job can enter in the infinite loop, right? most of the cases we have seen that in batch processing operating system, sometimes what happens, job may go in infinite loop, and there is a lack of protection scheme. That means we cannot protect the job by killing, by abnormal termination like that, by pending job or by starvation situation. So such type of, if a process goes in starvation, or a process is going to be killed, or a process is going to be abnormal voluntary or abnormal termination. So in this type of operating system, it is very difficult to protect the such type of job which goes in unavoidable situation. So let's talk about next your multi-programming batch system. It is also known as multi-programming operating system. See, multi-programming operating system is majorly used in very wide area of operating system components and its function. First, operating system manages memory or main memory. At that time, it is known as memory management. What is memory management? When operating system tries to manage main memory, it is known as memory management. So at that time, multi-programming operating system plays an important role. When I'll teach you memory management, I will teach you all the topics of memory management in depth. But right now, please take note of that multi-programming operating system is very essential in managing the memory. It is also used in disk management. What do you mean by disk management? That is management of the secondary storage, that is hard disk. हार्ड डिस्क को जो मैनेज करता है, उस तरीके के ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम को हम लोग मल्टी प्रोग्रामिंग ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम भी कहते हैं, राइट? बट apart from all these things, very important feature of multi-programming is CPU scheduling. जब प्रोसेस रेडी क्यू में आता है तो प्रोसेस को किस तरीके से एग्जीक्यूट करना है, that depends upon the CPU, and CPU should be scheduled for the execution of the process so that there should be no quarrel, there should be no fight among the process. That is why CPU scheduling is very important. Okay. Allocation of devices such as CPU and other hardware is also a part of multi-programming operating system. That is why sometimes it is also known as resource allocator. See, all the computer hardware, including CPU, is known as a resource. So it is the responsibility of multi-programming operating system to allocate these devices. That is why multi-programming operating system is also known as resource allocator. Next point is time sharing operating system. Time sharing operating system is the extension of multi-programming or logical extension of multi-programming. This I will take in the next video, that how time sharing operating system works, right? Okay. The best part is that CPU time is multiplexed among several jobs, and they are kept in the memory and on the hard disk. See, very important. See, CPU can execute several jobs at a time, but the scenario is that CPU will not take more than one process at a time, for the execution. The process will be mutually exclusively executed, right? So there should be a good technique of multiplexing to take a job, execute it, and release it, and take the second job for the CPU, right? Okay. CPU is allocated to a job only if job is in the memory. Very natural है ये चीज कि CPU उसी जॉब को या उसी प्रोसेस को एग्जीक्यूट करेगा जो कि हमारा मेन मेमोरी में. Talk about the figure of multi-programming operating system. In this figure, we are watching that these are the different programs or process which are submitted to which want to submit it to the computer, right? So here operating system is taking care of all these process, right? Whatever word processor is there, email is there, web browser is there, antivirus is there. These are the commands, these are the instructions which are given by different users or the same users. So what does operating system do? operating system assumes all these application, all these commands as a process. Let it be process. This is also second process. This is the third process. This is the fourth process. Now, operating system will decide that out of these process, they will be, first of all, they will be kept into the memory. After that, the operating system will decide that which process will be given to the CPU for execution firstly, and after that to whom, to which process the CPU will be allocated. Multi-programming batch system or multi-programming means when suppose web processor has been executed by a CPU for some times and it has been submitted for the IO task. So at that time CPU can take process email for execution. This is known as multi-programming operating system or multi-programming batch system, right? So here few good examples are there regarding multi-programming. First one is your CPU is used most of the time and never become idle. As I have already taught you in this figure that when CPU will execute the word processor and release, at that time it can take email for execution. That means CPU will not sit idle at any point of time, right? Okay. The system looks faster as all the tasks are run parallelly. See, from the same diagram I am telling you, suppose वर्ड प्रोसेसर अगर एग्जीक्यूट होकर के अपना काम करने के लिए आईओ के पास चला गया है तो उस समय सीपीयू खाली नहीं बैठेगा, सीपीयू ईमेल वाले प्रोसेस को ले लेगा एग्जीक्यूट करने के लिए. Thus, what does it mean? यानी पैरेलली दो चीजें काम हो रही हैं, वर्ड प्रोसेसर और ईमेल का. Thirdly, web browser is waiting for CPU. That means it is also a task of your multi-programming only, right? Fine. Okay, next. Short-term jobs are completed faster than long-term jobs. Yes, it is fine. That means जो process कम CPU burst time होगा वो जल्दी complete होगा और वो जल्दी उसके algorithm CPU scheduling के algorithms इस तरीके से होते हैं कि जो जिसके CPU burst time कम होता है उसको जल्दी entertain CPU करता है and CPU will be located as early as it is possible, right? Okay. Multi-programming operating system supports multiple user resources which are used nicely. Okay, that means what? जो भी यूजर के resources होते हैं उन resources को वो अच्छी तरीके से utilize करता है. कौन? Multi-programming, right? Next one is your read time is taken less as compared to other operating systems such as batch or serial operating system. The read time taken is less than that of other operating system. Okay, response time is shorter, means response time is quicker. What does it mean? Response time is the time between arrival time and the time which the CPU will take to execute the process. Again I am telling you, response time वो time होता है जबकि process हमारा रेडी क्यू में आया, किस समय आया है और उसको किस समय सीपीयू अलॉट होता है. सो द डिफरेंस बिटवीन दीज टू टाइमिंग इज नोन एज रिस्पॉन्स टाइम. ठीक है. ओके, इन सम एप्लीकेशन मल्टीपल टास्क आर रनिंग एंड मल्टी प्रोग्रामिंग सिस्टम बेटर टू हैंडल these type of applications. See, multi-programming or operating systems are mainly used whenever we are going for multiple tasks for execution or the applications which are multitasking. So in this type of situations, whatever the operating system that we are using is multi-programming operating system. So there are few disadvantages. Let's look one by one. It is difficult to program a system because of complication schedule handling. See, for CPU scheduling, a programming must have to be developed, and that programming language is really very tough to develop it. So that is why it is written here. That is CPU scheduling algorithm and implementation of this algorithm in a programming language is really very difficult. Tracking of all the process is sometimes very difficult to handle. See, whenever in multi-programming, whenever large amount of task is submitted for execution, so sometimes it becomes little difficult to handle all the situation that कौन सा process किस जगह पे है, किस state में है. See, when I will going to teach you multi-programming in detail in process management, when I will show you process state diagram, at that time I will take up all these points is exclusively, and there I will try to explain you each and everything, right? Okay, fine. Third point, due to the high load of tasks, long time jobs have to wait long, and sometimes due to this the long time jobs may go to starvation, right? Means oftenly it so happen in multi-programming that shorter job will be entertained first and longer job को थोड़ा सा wait करना पड़ता है. What are the best examples for the multi-programming operating system? Like your Firefox browser, MS Excel, Google Chrome, CC Cleaner are the examples of the multi-programming operating system. Next, let's talk about multiprocessor operating system or multiprocessor system. See, what do you mean by multiprocessor operating system? So multiprocessing operating system is nothing but it is a parallel system which is using more than one process for close communication. Whenever the huge amount of task is to be executed through computer, at that time using the single processor is not sufficient. So at that time we are using more than one processor parallelly to accomplish the task fastly, and that type of architecture is known as multiprocessing operating system, right? So there are three very essential ingredients or factors on which multiprocessing operating system is relying. First is your throughput, right? What is the throughput? Throughput is the performance of a operating system, right? So it increases by increases the number of processor, the work can be completed fastly in 1 unit time as compared to using single processor, right? Okay. Why it is also cost saving? I will just show you the diagram, then I will let you know why I have used that, how it is cost saving. See, parallel system shares mainly memory. It shares memory, buses, and different peripherals, right? So basically, what multiprocessing operating system does, it basically shares the computer hardware such as main memory, buses, and peripherals. Okay. This operating system also saves money as compared to multiple system, single system. How it is possible? Because when you are sharing the memory or when you are sharing the buses or you're sharing the different peripherals, then you don't have to be purchase the new one. That is why by sharing of these computer hardware devices, naturally you will save the cost of the system, right? Okay. It is next point is very important. It is cheaper to store the data on one single disk and share by all the process instead of using multiple copy of the same data. It is very important. See what happens for parallel execution. Two things we can do. Either we can store the same data into different location at different hard disk, or what we can do, we can use the same single disk and those single disk will be shared by all the processors. So we will go for the second option. That will increase the performance of the multiprocessing operating system, right? Next one is your reliability. In this system, as the workload is distributed among several processor, which results the increased reliability. Okay, fine. What does it mean? When the task is distributed to several processors, that means the burden on a single processor is reduced and the processor gives good output as compared to the single processor. Now, let's have a look on this diagram. I have taken three types of processor. First is your single processor, second one is your multiprocessing, and third one is your clustered symmetric processing, which is also known as your multi-processing operating system. So in the first system, why I have taken the comparative study, so that you can well imagine how the performance increases in multi-processing operating system. So in the first one, as you are watching, that there is a single CPU, single memory, and single hard disk. But in the multiprocessing, what is going to be happen? Disk is one, memory is one, and this memory is shared by 4 CPU. Are you getting my point? Here, the hard disk, in the single processor, there was only one hard disk, one memory, and it was shareable by CPU. But in multiprocessing, we are having one hard disk, one memory, and 4 CPU is sharing with this memory. That means here the computation speed will be get higher. In the third diagram, see, multiprocessing operating system is also very important whenever we are working on distributed system, right? Whenever we are working on distributed system, at that time, multiprocessing operating system is really very useful. Here, what we are watching, we are having 2 disks which is stored at 2 different locations, and they are separately having local memory and local bunch of CPU. Here, in the first one, you are having a disk with this memory and 4 CPUs are there. Parallelly, we are having second disk, and at the second location, which is having only one memory and 4 CPUs. And these two systems are connected with this bus system. It may be a bus system or it may be any transmission media. So I think through this diagram, you can well imagine, compare between the multi-processing system with multi-processing operating system. So we are having some advantages. Advantages are the throughput increases. Throughput increases means as compared to other operating system, its performance is really much better than that of the as compared to other operating system. Economy of scale. Economy of scale means kya? It is your cost saving. That is, many peripherals you don't have to need. You can share other computer resources, right? Okay. The reliability increases. Why the reliability increases? As I have already told you, because the processors are getting burden off. So due to the burden off, they can perform a very good computation without any hindrance. Okay. Some pros and cons are everywhere in every aspect. So there are some disadvantages also. So first disadvantage is that if one processor fails, then it will be affect the speed, entire speed. See, if 5 processors are there and out of 5 processors, 2 processors has been dumped. So all the tasks will be assigned to remaining 3 processors, which will be greatly affect the performance of the system, right? Okay. This type of operating system is really very expensive as compared to PCs and all other operating system. Okay, the architecture of multiprocessing operating system is really very complex, right? And the memory which is using in multiprocessing operating system should be higher. We cannot handle multiprocessing operating system with 4 GB or 10 GB RAM, right? Okay, fine. So next talk about desktop system. There are certain features of desktop system. First is, as the name indicates, desktop system are really meant for the user's need, right? So what are the desktop operating system? Basically, it emphasizes on customer need or the user need instead of CPU utilization. We will compromise with CPU utilization as compared to customer need, right? So this is the system where the control program in the user's desktop or laptop, also known as client operating system. Correct? This is also known as your client operating system. This type of operating system is a software which is freeware, or it can be used in a commercial software, right? Okay, fine. The most पॉपुलर डेस्कटॉप ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम्स आर विंडोज, जिसको आप लोग अभी यूज कर रहे होंगे, है ना, विंडोज का 7, विंडोज 10 और भी एडवांस वर्जन्स. एंड अपार्ट फ्रॉम दिस विंडोज यू आर आल्सो हैविंग मैक एंड लाइनक्स. सो लेट्स लुक ए फॉर्मल diagram of operating system where I have taken some example of desktop operating system. This is your Windows, okay, this is your Windows, this is your Linux, this is your Windows earlier version, and all those things are implemented in this, embedded in this.
So let's talk about some advantages and disadvantages. It is cheaper as compared to laptops. It is easier to repair because the peripherals are easily available in the market, and the desktop computers are seems to be more life as compared to laptops. Certain disadvantages are it is heavy, that is why it is not easy to carry from one place to another place. It needs high power and it produces noise. And main thing that you should have separate monitor, keyboard and mouse to run this operating system. So let's talk about summary in a brief. I have concluded the summary in 4 parts, 4 colors. First one is your batch processing system, as I have started in this video. So basically batch operating systems are the system where the jobs are submitted on the punch cards. There is no direct interaction between user and the system. In CPU schedule, in multi-programming, CPU scheduling is one of the important factor. Allocation of devices such as CPU and other hardware are there in multi-programming. While talking about multi-processing operating system, it is having high throughput, cost effective and good reliability, as I have already discussed earlier. It is similar to parallel system because several processors are executing the process parallelly. That is why it is also known as parallel system. In desktop operating system, mainly it emphasizes on the need of the user as compared to the CPU utilization. That is important. And this software is either freeware, you will have this software freely, or it is also commercially available. So these are the references, book references, and this is YouTube video URL in which you can easily watch this types of operating system. Lastly, thank you for watching this video.